Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the Daily Shooter, and as if California gun laws are not already bad enough, here we go at it again. The California State Assembly and Senate have introduced 3 new bills to further restrict your rights revolving around assault weapons. Now, if you didn't know, California is currently under an existing assault weapons ban. When they wrote that ban originally, what they said was, any centerfire rifle that has the capability of accepting a detachable magazine and one of these evil features is considered an assault weapon and therefore banned. So let's say you have a centerfire rifle, it could accept a detachable magazine, and it had a vertical foregrip, or it had an adjustable buttstock. In that case, it would be considered an assault weapon under California law. Certain firearms, like let's say the Mini 14, which also fires a .223, the Mini 14 has a detachable magazine, but it's really just like a standard buttstock and rifle, no flare, no features or anything like that. That would not be considered an assault weapon. Well, get ready for all of you people that don't use ARs, all of you people that just use semi-automatic something or other, okay, even the M1 Garand, and you don't really care about this stuff, you might want to start caring because they're coming after you now as well. Okay, so before I get too far into this video, let me tell you where you can go to help fight against these bills, because to be honest, I would rather you click away from this video and help fight against these bills than actually watch the rest of this video. The first place you want to check out that is spearheading a fight against these bills and other California gun laws is firearmpolicy.org. Very important for you to go over and check them out. They're doing a lot of great work to help fight against a lot of these unconstitutional laws here in the state of California. Also check them out on Instagram. I'll put a link in the description box. And check out @hashtactical on Instagram. @hashtactical is another place for your firearms rights. She does a lot of great work and really is pushing for everyone's rights here in the state. Okay, so let's get back to these 3 bills. Basically what we have here are 3 bills that are worded differently, they're written differently, they have different titles, but all seek to accomplish basically the same thing, which is to expand the definition of what is considered an assault weapon and go after the bullet button. Now, like I said before, I'm just going to summarize this. If you want to actually read the text or know all of the information about these particular bills, I suggest you go to the website because there is quite a bit of information, too much for me to make in a video, so I'm just going to summarize to keep you up to speed here. So basically what these bills want to do is they want to actually, the first thing is go after the bullet button. Now, they see the bullet button as a workaround, as a loophole, when in actuality it's not. The first assault weapons ban, or the current assault weapons ban, basically says in writing, it says in the ban that a bullet can be used as a tool to remove a magazine. Since a magazine is fixed with the bullet button, you can't take it out without using an actual tool. You can't use your fingers or any of your extremities to remove the magazine. You have to have a tool. They actually wrote, can a bullet be used as a tool to remove that magazine? It was written in there that yes, that it can. So anybody that says that that's some type of a workaround or a loophole, they're lying to you because it's actually in there, it's in writing. So they want to go after that because they still feel that that's too easy. Yes, it takes extra time. Yes, you have to find a tool, you have to wear a ring or something like that in order to remove your magazine. And it is a pain, but since they're anti-gunners and they probably don't know anything about firearms, they think, wow, that's way too easy. You can still take a magazine out and at some point put another magazine back. So they want to go after that. And basically they want to define that any firearm now, even if it has a bullet button, even if it has some type of magazine locking device on it, would then still be considered an assault weapon and therefore banned. So that's one thing, okay? They're going after all of your assault rifles, after all of your AR-15s, after all of your AR-10s, whatever you might have out there that's semi-automatic, that has a removable magazine. Now here's where we go to Mini 14s and M1s and anything like that that's semi-automatic and a center-fired rifle. They want to go after that too. They're basically expanding it out to include those. So there's a lot of people in California that buy Mini 14s because they're basically a featureless rifle, doesn't have anything fancy on it, right? But it still accepts a detachable magazine and it still shoots the .223 round. So a lot of people buy that because they like the ease of being able to detach a magazine and put a new magazine in without having to fumble with any type of bullet button. So that's what they've purchased in order to not have to comply with the bullet button regulation or fixed magazine regulations. They want to expand that to now say that that is now considered an assault weapon because it has a detachable magazine, regardless of any of the evil features, okay? Regardless of any of those evil features, you can still accept a 10-round magazine. It can be easily switched out, semi-automatic centerfire rifle. They want to come after that. They also want to go after pistols now. Any pistol that has a detachable magazine and any one of these, evil features now, they're also going to consider an assault weapon. Even the M1 Garand is under fire under one of these current assembly bills or Senate bills. So here you have very angry politicians who want your firearms. Now here's one of the scary things, okay? These angry politicians that want your firearms have actually written confiscation into these bills. For all those people out there who said confiscation wouldn't happen, that registration would not lead to confiscation, you're just fooling yourself. All of those anti-gunners who said that you're just conspiracy theorists to think that registration would lead to confiscation, here it is. This is actually it. It's coming to California if we let it. In these bills, it says if you now have one of these firearms that's now considered under the expanded law an assault weapon, you then have to take it and you have to register it with the state as an assault weapon. Okay, there will be no more importing. There will be no more sales of what they deem assault weapons. And the ones that are currently here can stay here as long as you register them within that particular time period. If you fail to register within that particular time period, that opens up the door where they can actually come and confiscate them. You have to either have them registered, sell them to an FFL for them to take them, or transfer them out of state. So you can own one, but you have to keep it out of state, you have to transfer it out of state, you have to sell it out of state, you have to sell it to an FFL, or register it with the state as an assault weapon. Now, I don't always try to interject my particular opinion or tell you guys, what I would or would not do in situations like this, but I can tell you right now that I'm not going to register anything. I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to transfer it. You're not going to take my property. Okay, I have a right under the Second Amendment to have that. Okay, and there's also a thing called due process. And to me, making a law that oversteps the Second Amendment, that oversteps the supreme law of the land, which is our Constitution, and trampling my Bill of Rights, I have a right to resist that. So since I am somebody who publicly speaks out against some of the gun laws in here in the state of California, and I'm sure even though I'm a really small channel that some of these people know who I am. Well, I can tell you right now, you might as well make my house the first house you're coming to. Because I will not register it, I will not comply at all, period, end of story. And if you have to take me to jail, absolutely fine. I will go to jail, and I will still stand up for my rights every single day. This is a complete infringement. This is an absolute infringement. Now, we have been a little bit lucky in the past where Governor Jerry Brown has actually vetoed a lot of these bills that have made it to his desk that do tend to overstep some of the already overstepped boundaries of this state. So, if these were to go through, we still have the hope that he would veto it, and we would have to lobby for that and push for that, and the fight continues, the fight goes on. So basically what you're looking at, and like I said, this is just very condensed, is expansion of what's considered an assault weapon, registration, possible confiscation. Bullet buttons are now considered to be part of an assault rifle. And let me tell you about one other thing. This is also at firearmpolicy.org. Again, I urge you to check that link. They want to go after 80%. Now they want to go after something that can be easily transformed or converted into a firearm. So let's say you have an 80% lower. They would consider that easily transformable, I don't know the word, into a firearm. They want to make those illegal as well. Now that's not illegal in federal law, but they want to make it state law that, 80% are also illegal. This all goes back to that whole Aries Armor thing and EP Armory that all got raided. They are going after our firearms in every form and fashion that they possibly can to take them away from us. And it's gonna work. It will work if we let it work. We have the numbers, and this is something I've never gotten. There are millions of firearm owners here in the state of California. If you would just speak out, if you would just vote, if you would just stand up, even if ARs and assault rifles or whatever they're considered are not your thing, maybe you just have a shotgun for hunting. If you would stand up for everybody, then maybe the gun laws wouldn't erode like they are now. So stand up, fight for your rights, and let's get this state back. Thank you all very much for watching. Please like, subscribe. Have a great day.